All right, one of my basic rules is that if price is below previous day's levels, we got to be careful. Many times been trying to go long and price has fallen below previous day's high or previous day's low or my bias. I just don't get out of the trade, or I keep adding. DCA trading, dollar cost averaging, has gotten me into so much trouble. Well, so what I do now is I just basically mark, the previous day's level. And it's really, really keeping me in the right, I believe, bias or side. So here's the previous day right here. And here's the level, the top part. And you can see it can't quite get over the top. It looks like it's down and it's back up and it's down. And I can't tell you how many times I've been long and it couldn't stay up over the top. And I've got myself into big trouble. So over here, well, we could even look at the 5-minute chart and you can see, what it's looking like without the tick charts. Here's that same line, and it's tried 1, 2, 3 times already. So, I'm going to modify my plan. If this comes down to my break even, I'm gonna break even and get out of that trade after all. Which is, after sleeping on it and thinking about it, I realize, I don't really want to try to do the $500 limit at this level because of it falling below previous day. If it was in any other situation, I would hit that $500 maximum drawdown loss for the day. But if it can't get back up over the top of this, it could. Look, if we look at the day chart, we're basically in a downtrend here on the MNQ. All right, so this is trending down. The 20 even has crossed under the 50. You got the 8 under the 20, under the 50, right? But here's the 200. And it looks like it wants to bounce here and go up. And that's why I'm wanting to be long. But overall, this thing could easily roll down this way, right? It's coming on that 8 moving average. It could easily roll off. And I don't want to get caught on a long if it's going to do that. Cutting losses quicker, having a set amount of risk in mind, and then sucking it up when it happens, if it happens. And this is a mentality I'm changing into, getting away from this just reckless dollar cost averaging trading. And we're going to try to be a little bit more, I don't know if it's professional or not, but a little more reasonable in my risk management. So I'll keep recording updates on this trade today as it develops. So stay tuned. But in case you missed a previous video, I wanted to set a $500 risk on this particular trade idea, thinking more of a long bias that I believe it's going to go up rather than come back down. So I'm putting my bet on that side with a $500 maximum risk, this Apex funded account. I'm trying to pass it. So what I was going to do is just add to my position and double my micros to 2 micros, and then get out if it falls below the low of the day, which it's created the low of the day right here. Let's see. Yeah, this little pintail here, if price comes down and turns red, I don't want to be long on that, right? And I'm already, it can't stay above that previous day's high already. It's having some weakness. I definitely don't want to be adding and keep adding with all this empty space down here, thinking that, oh, I'm going to fight this. That's not good. So the plan was to add and then get 2 micros, and then if it keeps going, when it hits the $500 limit, get out. All right, and so that's better than just keep adding and blowing the whole account. All right, so we'll see what happens. Okay, you can see it's starting to do a liquidity sweep here, and it may stop me out for break even, and I'm going to reassess any other trade opportunities. We could do trendline breaks, different kind of Fibonacci things, but what I'm not going to do is dollar cost average. All right, that hasn't worked, so we're looking for, and I'll see it swept these liquidity levels here. Let's take a look at this. It's not quite down where I entered in. Maybe it'll stop going down and I can stay in this trade. Got in last night when the market opened. Let's take a look at that. And then I just kept it overnight. My plan really was to just go with the $500 maximum loss, even though, you know, I didn't really think about it falling below previous day's levels. I said, if it doesn't go up, I'll just take the $500 hit on my chin. Now, after sleeping on it, I'll just break even. I've changed my mind. If it comes down to where I entered, I'll just get out for a little tiny profit, and I'll think about going short. If it breaks below previous day's low, right now it's below previous day's high. If it keeps going down below previous day's low, then we'll look for short setups. But hopefully right here, you know, it will stay. It is making higher and higher. I like it. Higher and higher lows. And even right here, this one's higher than this one. If it stays up, hopefully it'll keep going. And trades can stop you out and go right back up in your favor. Every trader experiences that, and there's no sense in getting frustrated with what is inevitable. So we can make stupid decisions based on that frustration, and that's just part of immaturity. We got to grow up and stop doing that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it did come down and break me even on this trade, and I'm going to keep an eye on it because I want to know if my original idea was worth keeping. But just look at this 5-minute chart. It is so choppy and sketchy. I wanted to kind of get out of the trade because of the way it's acting here, just choppy and sketchy, bullhorning, and you know, it's really sweeping the bottom here, sweeping the high here, sweeping the bottom again. Look at this, back and forth, lower low, higher high, just stretching out in choppiness. So I'm glad I'm out of the trade, and I was thinking about getting out with a little bit more profit before it come down to stop me out. But now we have to reassess everything. I'm kind of curious to see what would have happened if I would have done my original plan, which was add down here once it sweeps, get 2 micros, and then try to hold out for a $500 loss if it keeps going. But I changed my mind overnight sleeping on it, so I'm glad I'm out of the trade. And now I'm really not sure what to do except to possibly go short on it. So you guys have a good day. That's our thinking on see you on the next video. All right, knowing when today is not a good day to trade. Distractions, I'm distracted by something. I'm starting to understand that stuff makes a difference. That stuff really does get in the way. One of my accounts is missing, so I'm kind of got that in the back of my mind eating at me, and now all of a sudden the trade that I had planned originally from last night, the $500 risk limit, and adding if it drops, and then letting my stop loss be in place, well, that would have worked. I got out of the trade because it fell below previous day's levels, and it went right back up over the top of previous day's levels. See this gigantic move up over here, and it would have worked beautifully. But what I had planned was for it to come down, and okay, that's the 3rd trade now that I've lost, and I'm not going to take any more trades for a while, at least this morning. And it's very frustrating when the idea that you had worked, and then the trades after that don't work, and then you can go on tilt and you can keep trading, and you can really blow your accounts and just go back into dollar cost averaging. So I want to talk about the trade that I had planned last night. Last night I had planned a trade that I was hoping to go bullish, and I got into the trade, and then it was going to come down and add to the trade, and I would have 2 micros instead of 1, and then I would have my stop loss at the low. And as you can see down here at the low, it never came down to the low right there. See, it never came all the way down. So I would have 2 micros right here. I add 1 up there, add another one when it came down, and then my stop loss was going to be right here for the 2. It never came down, and I'd be long 2 right here for this big move up, right? And so that would have worked great. I'm glad to see that would have worked, even though I guess I got chicken. I got chicken because my experience with price falling below the previous day's levels in a situation where it could easily roll down is something to be very cautious about. So I put my original entry on break even, and when price came back down, it stopped me out, and I missed the add. I wanted to add and just take those two and come down here and go, okay, if it breaks the level, if it breaks lower, I'll stop out lower. It never did. So the two that I would be long on would have caught that ride back up. And so yeah, frustration. Stop trading when you're frustrated. I'm going to stop trading right now, do some journaling, these video journals, record everything. I'll go back and watch it. And then if I see another setup later, it'd be great. But right now I have a distraction, a mental distraction. Something's going on that's kind of gotten me riled up a little bit. And trading and taking losses after missing a good trade can really be a formula for a very bad day. So let me stop trading for at least a little while now. All right. See you in the next video.